Hey guys, so welcome to my live. As you guys know already, I will be interviewing a very special guest, Zeze Millz. So guys, I just thought I'd give an interview because I feel like I'd want to know how things are from her perspective. As we know her as I would say a cultural commentator in the culture, it would be nice to literally just see how life is for her, how she got to where she got to, and her goals and what we are expected to know from her. So yeah. So as well, currently waiting for her. I just want you guys to know also, like I always say every time I'm on the live, if you guys have questions for her, please let me know so then I'm able to ask her. I do have quite a few things I would like to ask her myself. So, bear with me. But yeah, if you have anything you'd like to put forward, please do let me know. But yeah, until then, literally just gonna be waiting for her. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Kelsey, babe man. But yeah. So yeah, guys, just bear with us really. Um but yeah. Nervous as hell, but we got this one, we got this. But yeah. Oh, thank you guys. I am, but it's cool, man. It's cool. I'll be comfortable after, so it's all good. It's all good. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you, girls. You guys are gassing me. Oh, but yeah, guys. I hope you guys are well whilst we're waiting. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah. And I hope you guys have had a good day. I appreciate all the support and love. Especially as it was announced yesterday. But yeah. Okay, I'm just waiting now, guys. Just bear with us. Oh man. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Come on. But yeah, it's a big step in it. It's a big step. Um, there we go. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, we're just literally waiting for Z. But yeah, man. Until then, uh, oh, she's here. She's in live now. I was just about to say something, but it's how common select IB. Thank you, man.
Background as usual.
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for
How have
having
you been?
me. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just here chilling. Well, I actually just woke up. I actually just had a little nap, so I didn't even look at my face to see if I was had sleep in
Yeah.
my eyes or anything like that. But I'm good. How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just excited. I was quite nervous because I was just like, oh my God, Susie. But you're here,
No, you
so
can't be
all
nervous.
good.
You got to have a good old conversation.
No, definitely. But before I get, lost in the sauce and start talking to you about everything else, please, could you introduce yourself, what you do, and something that we may not know about you?
Hi, my name is Zeze Millz. I am the cultural commentator. I commentate on everything that's happening in the world. Well, not everything. I haven't done that. I haven't done the hot topics actually for a while, and I definitely want to get back into it. And something that people don't know about me, I used to suck my thumb. That just came
Oh,
to my
that's
head.
cute. Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to suck my thumb, and I used to have like my mum's my mum used to have to wear a nightie for like 2 days so that it would have her scent on it, and then I would use the nightie to like as a comforter and suck my thumb at the same time. That's something
Oh,
weird that
that's
I've never told
cute.
anyone, but that's the first thing that just came to my head. So yeah.
No, thank you for sharing there. That's cool. That's cool. Obviously, Zeze, we know you're the cultural commentator, and I just wanted us to get to know you a bit more. So, growing up, like, what was it like for you? And like, was this exactly something you saw yourself doing as you was young, or was it just something that was quite new?
I think actually when I first started, when I was younger, I wanted to do acting. That was the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to be an actress. I've always wanted to do acting. That was the thing. And then I think I got to maybe about 35 and I realized actually, no, 35, I got to about 25, sorry. And I realized I'm not going to be Halle Berry, well, not anytime soon anyway. So now I need
Yeah.
to figure out something else that I'm good at. And
Mm-hmm.
I've always kind of like sharing my opinion, and I've always been talkative. My mum always said I always want to get the last word in, so
Mm-hmm.
I then just started Headscarf Diaries and giving my opinion online, and
Mm-hmm.
then literally from there it kind of took off. So that's how Zeze Millz kind of started.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that you brought Headscarf Diaries because I was literally going to talk about that. I really liked how you was just yourself. You'll have guests come on, you'll be on your bed. It's very relatable. Where did the idea kind of come for you? Because obviously you said that you like to talk, so that was the kind of platform you decided to do. But where did that kind of stem from for you?
I think like I said, because I was always opinionated, but then on the other hand, I
Hmm.
thought if I wanted to come online and share my opinion, I didn't want to have to always do myself up, because
Yeah.
I'm really lazy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't put a lot of makeup. I don't wear makeup on a day to day, not because I'm like, oh, I don't need to wear makeup. It's just because I'm extremely lazy when it comes to this stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I find it very annoying, and I enjoy putting on makeup when someone's doing it for me, so then I don't have to
Yeah.
do anything. That's when I like makeup. So
Hmm.
I just thought, you know what, I want to come online and share my opinion, but I kind of just want to do it as if I would be talking to my friends. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you
Yeah.
get on the phone to your friends and be like, oh my God, don't you think it's weird when men do this? Or don't you think it's weird when this happens? Or don't you think
Hmm.
she was stupid for saying that? And I thought, what a better way to do it, just to have my headscarf on, something that us as Black women, we are very familiar with, like having our headscarf on.
Hmm.
I literally had my headscarf on just now before I came on live, because I literally will come home, put my
Hmm.
headscarf on and just chill. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where it came about from, really, if I'm being honest with you. It wasn't like a well thought out thing. It was just something that I just done.
Yeah, definitely. Um, when it comes to your channel, obviously as well, because you've got the Zeze Mill show going on Trend Central. Do you see yourself going back onto your platform to put more content on, or would it just be other platforms?
Um, I think. Ooh, I think I will put stuff on my platform, whether or not that would be the Zeze Mill show. I don't. I'm undecided. I really enjoy being on Trend Central. I've built a good
Hmm.
relationship with Andy and the team. So I would, even if I was to go, like, even if I was to, the goal would be, if I was to take Zeze Millz somewhere else, it would be like TV or a Netflix or something like that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would be the goal, and that would probably
Hmm.
be all of our goals that work on the show.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to put different stuff on my channel, and I want to probably do that this year. So that is something that I will do. What? Yeah, I don't know, but
Hmm.
as it stands, I like where Zeze Moore show is placed at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can't wait to see what more things that you have planned because you're just doing amazingly so far right now. So congratulations to you.
But I start
Um,
filming actually on start
mhm,
again on Monday. I start filming on Monday, and then I've got about
mhm.
I've got about 4 guests that are lined up for this month. So
Okay.
so we'll have some good interviews, which should be good. So look out for that.
Oh no, definitely, definitely, I will. I will. Do you know what? It's led me into my other question. I don't know if you're gonna answer it, but I'm just gonna take a risk anyway.
Yeah, go
So,
on.
how do you get your interviews? Like, is it something that you've planned like way ahead from beforehand, or like what's the kind of strategy you use?
Not really, you know. So, I mean, there's certain people that I have like my eye on, and I think I really want to get them on the show, and I'm going to try to get them on the show. And
Hmm.
then also there's other things where the person, something's happened big with the person, so I will
Hmm.
then go. But most of the times, how I get my interviews is literally sliding into people's DMs. I literally just slide into people's DMs and say, "Hi, how are you? Would love you to come on the show." And I guess people didn't really know about the show, I'd give a little bit explanation about the show,
Hmm.
and share like some of the views and stuff like that. But most of the time I just literally slide into people's DMs and say, "Hi, you're right. How do you feel about
Hmm.
coming on the show?" And sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes people are apprehensive. Sometimes people are like, "I'm not too sure." Other times
Mm.
people, I guess sometimes people pretend that they don't see it. I know the motherfuckers. I know they see it. They pretend that they don't see it, and then
Mm.
other times people get back to me. But it's all about. In the beginning, I used to have like a lot of pride. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm not going to message that person because I don't want them to think I'm begging." But now
Mm.
I don't. I don't give a fuck. I literally just slide into everyone's DMs. Even people that I think are never going to reply to me, they'll reply, and I'll be like, "Oh
Hmm.
my god, they actually replied! Wow!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Hmm.
that's how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Zizi, can I just say your confidence is just out of this world? Like, because
Oh,
from
thank you.
before you got to where you are now, you took on so many like backlashes, comments, everything, and it just makes me kind of wonder to myself, like, how do you do it? So, like, in my opinion, how do you well, my question to you, should I say rather, how do you kind of take that on? How do you deal with the hate, especially when it's unprovoked, unnecessarily, just being done, and then there's trolls?
Do you know what? It depends. It honestly depends on my day. Like if I'm having a
Mm,
good day, then it doesn't really get to me. But if I'm having a shit day to do with other things, then it can get on top of me. And sometimes I've had a little cry, and not because I'm like, "Oh, woe is me," but a lot of times out of frustration, because it's like, how can people
mm,
not get what I'm saying? And are people just purposefully not trying to get what I'm saying because it's me? So are they just
mhm,
doing it just to, and then other times I don't care, and other times I find it funny. It honestly just depends on the day that I'm having, because obviously I'm on the internet, but there's other things that go on in my life. So,
mhm.
if I've just had an argument with somebody, or if I've just had really good head, then no one cares about what's happening on the internet. Absolutely nobody. So,
Yeah,
so it's just like, I don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it all depends on the day that I'm having. That is my reaction.
Okay, okay, because it's a lot, like, and you're actually still on. Sometimes you do comment, sometimes you just pray and you don't say anything. And then obviously there's times where, well, many times, shall I say, rather, your comments are put onto the blog pages. Do you feel that can kind of make it more intensified for you? And like, it kind of will predict what your next move will be after.
Yeah, sometimes yeah, I think I'm a bit more weary now when I tweet and stuff, because
Mm,
I know that things can get taken and then put somewhere else. So whenever I tweet or whenever I say something, I'm very conscious of like, oh, am I? So sometimes I do actually think, am I in the right mental space to
mm,
handle some sort of backlash or what might come with this? So there are times when I don't tweet stuff, because I think, you know what, I know if I tweet this now, it's going to be taken, put onto, the Shade Borough, the UK Gossips, or it might just do its rounds on Twitter. Am I
mm-hmm,
am I in the right mental space to deal with that now? Because I know what type of person I am. I know I'm extremely argumentative. I know that I want people to understand my point. So I will keep going until, but like last week I said something and people didn't agree with it and it did the rounds. And what I did actually that time was I just muted the tweet. So I just muted it and I didn't actually know what was happening until maybe certain things would pop up on my feed. But to be fair, I didn't know what was happening, and that was okay.
Yeah, definitely. Again, you're very strong-willed because you have your times, and it just doesn't seem like you would react to it because it's just like, oh, Zeze, okay, like she said her thing, and that's it, really. So yeah. So what would you say has helped you with your engagement when it comes to your platform and just like you as a commentator?
Well, you mean like how I interact with people?
Yeah,
I
and
think
your platforms that you're on.
I think it's probably just that. It's about interacting with people, and I would say
Mm.
just consistency as well. I think once people know, like, you know, I kind of built up a thing where people know every Sunday I'm going to release an interview, or it should be every Sunday that an interview is going to come out. So they look forward to that. Or, I do definitely want to get back into Headscarf Diaries. I keep saying that. So I definitely want to get into it. But at one point, people would know, like, every week a Headscarf Diary was going to come. Maybe if they was lucky, they might get two if I was in, if I had loads of things to talk about. But I think the main thing is just about consistency.
Yeah.
You just have to be consistent, almost to the point where people are gonna almost like fed up of you. Do you get what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, here she goes again. But it's kind of, oh, here she goes again. But I'm gonna listen to everything. But I'm still here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Just
definitely.
like almost feed people with so much content that they can't help. They there's no way that they can ignore you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like everything you do in general, like no one can ignore you anyway, because I just feel like sometimes people just have it for you anyway. They're already on guard on what you're going to say. They
Yeah,
know everything
they
you
already
say
must
is
have it to say.
quite,
Yeah.
what I mean, controversial. Like you did tweet, I think maybe a few days ago, you said something like, is it just me? Like when I say something, everyone wants to disagree, but if someone else says it, it's like everyone
Literally,
likes
they'll
it,
be like,
everyone shares it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So
started to realize that. So I'm just like, that's again. So that's why I've started to realize that. So now I'm just like, you know what? I'll just keep tweeting and doing what I need to do. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you're already unique in your own right anyway because you're very transparent and you're very like just out there. Like you don't care, you'll say what you feel needs to be asked and what people do you feel anyway. So yeah. I also wanted to ask you as well. I don't know if you could answer this question, but someone asked, how do you get into the media music industry?
Oh my god, when people ask me these questions, I'm like, mate, do I even know myself? I think it's like I just said, you just have to be consistent. It depends what you want to get into though. If you want to like be behind the camera, then I guess it's a different route. And I guess that is just you kind of, one thing I would say is that you can't have like pride and ego, if that makes sense. You can't be like, oh, I'm not going to message this person, or I'm not going to do this because I don't want people to think this, I don't want people to think that. You just have to almost just the only thing people can say to you is like no, and if they say no, oh well, then you move on. Do you get what I mean? And I've had to learn that
Yeah.
because I was like one of those people, like I said earlier, like when I'd message people, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to message them because what if they say no? And then I had to kind of like start teaching myself, but what if they say yeah? What if they message back and say, oh, do you know what? Yeah, definitely, I'd love to come on the show. So you just have to keep, you just always don't have, you can't be, yeah, I just go back to what I said, you can't be too prideful. You can't be too
Yeah.
prideful, and you have to let your ego go, and you have to keep asking, like always, just keep asking, and knocking down doors and doing your own thing. Do you get what I mean? Or like what I done was, there's loads of people that do kind of what I do and they do it well, but then you just have to find a little niche where someone else is not doing that. So you could be, you might want to, do vlogging, or you might want to do, makeup tutorials, but then kind of look at everyone else who do makeup tutorials and see something maybe that everyone else is not doing, and then you do that thing that everyone else is not doing. So in my sense, it was like, okay, everyone is kind of maybe giving their opinion and stuff, but is everyone really giving their opinion, or are they kind of just sugarcoating it so they don't get on the wrong side of people? But I was kind of like, do you know what? I'm going to be the person that just says it so raw, without no filter, and just see how that goes. Because I was kind of bored of just seeing like safe interviews and people just saying things that they think everyone wants to hear. And so that's where I found my little niche there.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's no one that we can generally say does what you do anyway, and you do it the best way possible, you know? So definitely. Do you read your comments, by the way, like when it comes to interviews and stuff? And if you do you like take it on, or is it just something that you just keep pushing with regardless because you know you can?
It depends. It depends what interview it is. Do you get what I mean? So if it's if I know that I'm gonna, like, say for instance the low ski interview, I know that I'm gonna get backlash because number one, he's got a strong following. Number two, people really like drill, so I know that there's going to be a backlash. So I won't read it. Do you get what I mean? But then there's other things where I know, like when I did the one with Big Nasty, it's like, how many bad comments can you get? So I might read the comments. But then sometimes even when I know I'll get bad comments, I might skim through it. But I don't try to read too much because like I said, I'm extremely like argumentative, and I'll see something and I'll be like, I have to set them right. They've said something that is incorrect, and I'll feel like I'll have to reply. So I just don't put myself through that agonizing thing of stopping myself, like, no, don't do it. So I don't. But I read my comments like on my page sometimes, but again, it just depends on the day that I'm having as well. If I want to put myself through reading all the comments. If not, then I stay away from them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Quickly just going into interviews, who would you say what interview basically would you say you enjoyed the most, and what would you say was the most awkward interview for you?
I think Wiley will always probably be one of my favorite interviews, just because it was Wiley and we had like a good rapport. And I think one of my hardest interviews, because he was just like stone, was Osh. And I tell him this all the time. It was so difficult. He just wouldn't give me nothing. He was just straight faced, and I was trying to get stuff out of him and he wasn't budging. And I was just like, oh my God. That was probably, I wouldn't say my most difficult, but it was very draining because I was literally trying to like get stuff out of him and he wouldn't give me nothing. And then on the opposite, you have people like Wiley that just literally, they'll come on and they're just really like charismatic. They're going to give you like really good content. So that was definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know if you face these stuff, but when there's times where you face content block or writer's block, how do you kind of push forward with that? You know, on the days that you may feel like, you know, you're very dismotivated or feel like you don't know what else you may want to put out.
Sometimes I get sometimes it's hard to get interviews. Like sometimes I struggle to get interviews because either people just don't want to come with a show, or I can't get them quick enough, and I might have a little panic then. But then I will, if I can't think of one thing to put out, then I'll put something else out. So if I'm finding it hard to get interviews, then that's when I might putting out headscarf diaries, just so that I'm always like at the forefront or in people's minds, or I'm always putting something out. So if you can't think of one thing to put out, maybe that you normally put out, then try and think of something else to put out. And then other times I just think, you know, there's no point of putting so much pressure on yourself. It is what it is. When I find something, I find something. If I don't, I don't. I think a lot of times we put pressure on ourselves, and it has to be this, I have to do that. If I don't do that, I'm a failure, or blah 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 blah. Other times I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. I'll just roll with the flow and see what happens.
Yeah, no, definitely. See, I like that. I like how you mentioned that, because there's a lot of creatives or people in the scene that do feel that kind of perfectionist kind of phase where they do want to get things done perfectly and they don't want to make any mistakes, or they don't know how to deal with this stuff. So you putting it out there makes a lot of sense, and it kind of, I hope it gets to someone and they can learn and this can help them, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Also, we'll be seeing you more in music videos, because I know when you was on Young Bane's one, Table for Two, yeah, it was good to see you in it, because we don't really see you in that kind of setting. So I wanted to ask, would we see you in more?
I mean, it depends. It depends. It has to be the right person,
Mm,
and it has to be the right video. It's not something that I'm like actively looking for, but if it have, like, I wasn't actively looking for the Young Bane thing. Young Bane just approached, asked me, and he said, how do I feel
mm-hmm,
about it? I asked him to just send me like give me a breakdown of what it was. I told him some of this. I did say to him, I'm only going to do it if this, if that.
mm-hmm,
I asked him to send me the song before. Did he send me, or he told me how the song was going to be, I think,
mm-hmm.
because obviously I was quite wary of not doing something that is contradictory to the stuff I talk about. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what the song, I kind of wanted to know what the treatment was going to be, like how was it
Mm-hmm.
going to work. um Fun fact about that is we didn't shoot together, so he shot a totally separate day from me. So actually I
Mm-hmm.
never met him when I did the video. I've obviously met him before, but we weren't
Yeah.
together when we did that video. So yeah, it was a good experience though. I really enjoyed it. It was good, and it came out better than I thought it was. I was a bit anxious about it coming out, like, oh my god, what am I going to look like, and
Yeah.
because I had to do like my own makeup and everything, and whatnot. So I was a bit like, I wonder
Mm-hmm.
how it's going to look, but it came out good, and I really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. You looked like you was enjoying yourself, and you was just like comfortable, which was really good. You know, it came out very natural, which is
Yeah.
what we've been seeing, you know. Um, okay, I'm gonna bring up this because I just feel like it has to be addressed in some way. But in Elephant in the Room, right,
Hmm.
with Chucky, Poet, and Lippy, um, okay, it kind of intensified from obviously hearing some of the opinions that was raised about you and what Poet had said. Um, Obviously you and Poet had your clash. At the end, was it generally still that same energy, or did you guys somewhat come to the middle of what you were both talking about?
I was very annoyed when I finished filming. I will say that I was extremely annoyed. My blood was
Mm-hmm.
boiling. After we stopped filming, we still kind of was all like,
Mm-hmm.
having our little disagreement. But
Mm-hmm.
there's no bad blood. Like, I think me and Poet, we have like I wouldn't say love-hate relationship, but a little bit like a love-hate relationship. Like, if I see him, it's always going to be love. But I know
Mm-hmm.
he has his thoughts about me, and I have my thoughts about him. But we're both old enough and mature enough to still get along, if that makes sense. Like, it will never be a
Yeah.
thing where I see him and I'm like, oh, I don't like you, or fuck Poet type of thing. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes we don't get along, and that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it was definitely like a very real emotions on that day, if that makes sense. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I just thought to myself, like, wow, can you imagine off camera? Like, is the energy still going to be that hot, or did they somewhat like come to some,
No,
you know, discussion thing?
it was definitely like me and Poet. Not so Lippy kind of was just like after, but me and
Mm,
Poet were definitely going for about a good, I would say about 20 minutes, half an hour after we stopped filming, because Pope was still trying to get his point across. I was still trying to
hmm.
get my point across. But then we said bye to each other, and it was fine. And I saw him after that, and it was all cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm glad. At least there's no bad blood, because I thought it would be a thing where it'd be like, oh, poet,
No,
and then
no,
be like,
no, no,
oh, what?
no, no,
So
no,
no, that's
no,
good.
no.
That's good. I also wanted to ask you as well. Okay, so I'd say your friend Lynn May, I think
Yeah.
that's how you pronounce her name, right?
Hmm.
I feel like she's quite similar to you because she's kind of very outspoken as well, and she
Yeah.
does say some things in the that get put in the blog pages. And I was wondering, would you both ever consider like having a podcast together? Or like just speaking and having the discussion, because obviously you guys seem quite close and you guys have been seen together in your snaps and stuff like that. So
We
yeah.
used to do radio together. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we used to do radio on Pulse maybe I would say about 3 years ago now, maybe about three
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably would. Yeah, we would, but I think we're both waiting, or we'll wait for the right time, if that makes sense. I think a couple of times we said we'll do a live together, but she's really busy. I'm like, she's busy, I'm busy as well. But the thing is, the weird thing is, like, I speak to her every day, like that. She's like one of my closest friends, so we talk every day and we have debates. Like, as much as we agree on stuff, we disagree on a lot of stuff as well. So yeah, definitely something. I think that would make sense. Maybe look out in the future for something. Who knows?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I would look at it and I'd be like, why haven't they done something together? Like,
No,
it'd be so
we
interesting.
used to do radio together. We used to love doing radio. We used to do Sunday and Thursday radio. We used to do it on Pulse, like 2 hour slots, and we'd talk about, she'd talk about her political stuff. I'd talk about social issues and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully in the near future, yeah, maybe we'll do some more stuff together, because I actually think it would bang as well. I think it would be a good thing to
Yeah,
do.
no, definitely. And oh, I'm gassed to hear you've been on radio, that's amazing. I think you should go back on there.
We did. We used to really love doing radio, and with Pulse, people could like call in as well. So it was like really good. We'd have discussions, then people would call in, and then would have more. Like, it was really good. We actually, yeah, it's a lot of commitment doing radio, like every and obviously as I've got busier and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something that we've spoken about a couple of times for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. But oh no, it's good to hear. Maybe potentially something could come. Like that's good news. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. I wanted to ask you as well. The chemistry between you and Sideman, aka David, yeah, is just I love you guys together. I thought you guys should do more content. Like I would love if you guys could continue doing Cause We Can. Do you feel we'll be getting another maybe series on there or episodes anytime soon?
Hopefully then we in the near future we might be working together again, hopefully. So we'll see what happens with them. I really did enjoy, but again, what happened is that we both started to get busy. He started to get really busy, so we had to kind of just drop it for a little while. But hopefully, who knows, like in the near future, maybe we'll be able to work on some projects again together. Like we did the Black History Month thing together, which was really fun, and we really both enjoyed that. So yeah, that would be ideal, because I do like working with Sideman. We get along, David. We get along really well. Again, we agree on stuff, but we disagree on stuff as well. And I think that those are the best people that I get along with people that I don't necessarily agree with all the time, but we have good discussions, and we can both kind of debate our reasons as to why. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no,
We
definitely,
disagree and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are we expecting to see from you in the near future, and what you can say?
Well, obviously, just more Zeze Millz show, and yeah, I'm gonna try and come out with some new content stuff, like you said, like you mentioned, for my own channel, maybe. So I'm thinking of things to do, that like cool concepts to do, and yeah. But the main thing is just like the Zeze Millz show. Like I want it to just go to bigger and better things. I was thinking the other day maybe to incorporate maybe like live performances and stuff like that on the show. I would love to kind of do that. Like acoustic versions of stuff. So yeah, I would like that as like a natural progression. So yeah, that is kind of where I'm and just whatever else happens. A lot of stuff that has happened with Zeze Millz is kind of it's just almost just happened, if you get what I mean. It's not been something that I've like planned. So now it's weird now, because this is like my full-time job now. So I almost have to plan stuff now, like, oh, I need this to happen, I need this to happen, because I need to make sure I make this or whatever. So it's a bit weird now. It's actually like a career, which is weird to say, but yeah, that's just bigger and better things with Zeze Millz show, I guess, and for Zeze Millz as well, outside of Zeze Millz show, if that even makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I can't wait to see more of what you've got. Like I said, we're all rooting for you, because you're literally in your bag right now doing your thing, which is just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, Zeze, I have to ask you real quick, yeah. Would you go out with someone in the industry, because you've got a lot of admirers, yeah, and vast and song about you in his freestyle with Fume. So how did you feel about that?
What about Russ? You say Russ?
Yeah.
Oh, Russ just loves to do things like that. I don't think he's a little troublemaker. He is. Would I ever go out with somebody? I mean, if it was the right person, I'm not totally against it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't. I'll never say never. I'm not against it. I'm not like one of these people that never, because I could meet someone and I get along really well with them. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I would. I'm not against it. It just has to be the right person, though. But that's with
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it has to be the right person with a quote unquote normal
Mhm.
non-industry person. So it's just oh my god, Dave, did you just break this? When did you do that?
I'm so
Sorry,
done.
I'm literally, my dog's here on my
That's
lap.
okay. Oh, Dave, he's so cute. Honestly, wish you
Dave,
could see that having another dog.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't think so. Dave, I'm really upset that you've done this. You know, it's really naughty of you. There you go.
Oh, bless him. He's
Yeah.
cute.
So yeah.
No, no, definitely, definitely. Okay, so I've got a question that has come in,
Yep.
and the person has said, do you think it's harder for women in your industry, and how do you deal with it?
Um, do I think it's harder? I think
Mhm.
it's a male-dominated scene. So it is naturally going to be harder because males kind of dominate it. But then on the other hand, because there's not a lot of us,
Mhm.
anyone that kind of comes through and makes a lot of noise, um, you know, they kind of get a bit of airtime, if that makes sense. So it is harder,
Yeah.
and it is and it isn't. Um, I think it's harder because you get judged more. So, like I was saying, there's certain things that I will say, and it's no, but someone else comes along and says it who's a man, and all of a sudden it's, oh my god, they're talking the truth. Oh my god, gospel, gospel, gospel. Ah, yeah, bro, you said it. Yeah, I can't believe
Mm.
it. Facts, facts, facts. And it's like, I literally just said the same thing
Said
they
the
said
same
2 weeks
thing.
ago, and
Mhm.
that's where I think it's a bit harder, because I just think there's a lot of like misogyny just naturally within the industry anyway, that or that women shouldn't do certain things, or do you get what I mean, or you shouldn't be talking about, even when I talk about, Dave, stop, even when I talk about like sex and all that kind of stuff, um oh, why is she talking about sex, and why is she this and why that, and it's like, why can't I, like, it's
Mm.
natural, this is how we all got here. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only, I
Yeah.
would say it's difficult in that sense, just the misogyny sometimes that's ingrained in the scene, in the industry.
Hmm. No, definitely. I completely agree with you, like you said. What would you say needs to change? I know it's such a generic question, but just it'll be interesting to hear from you, from your perspective, what needs to change.
What do you mean within the industry?
Yeah.
I just think there needs to be a lot more representation, and you know what? I just think there needs to be a lot more representation, and I think everyone just needs to be a bit more real. Do you get what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, I think there's a lot of pretending. There's a lot of like, oh, we all get along really well. We're not really, not
Not
really.
really.
People
Yeah.
don't, and also that's okay if you don't get along well with people. I think there's this whole thing of like, oh, kumbaya. We all love each other, and I don't think it's actually natural. Like, you're not going to get along with everyone. Not everyone you're going to gel with, but it doesn't mean, just because I don't get along with you doesn't mean now we have to beef either. It's just, we don't get along. I respect what you've done, you respect what I've done, and you
Hmm.
keep it moving.
Yeah.
I think if everyone's just a bit more honest with how they feel, and everyone needs to be a bit more open to taking criticism as well, because I think that's another thing that we don't really do that well with, especially over here. Like, you can't say
Yeah.
nothing bad about anyone, because then you're a
That's true.
hater, or you're a pagan, or you don't want them to do well, or you're jealous of them. And it's just, actually, no, I just think that song they released was shit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. It's nothing personal. It's just, I didn't like it, or I don't necessarily
Hmm.
like their music, or I didn't like that film. Do you know what I mean? Everyone needs to be less
Yeah.
sensitive. That's what I think. Everyone needs to be less sensitive.
Yeah, no, 100%, because that's what they were saying about how they don't feel they could be like a breakfast club in London because everyone's so sensitive
Oh
to
yeah,
everything
everyone
that's
is way
been
too
going on,
sensitive.
you
Everyone be
know?
online every day saying, like, when I see you, watch when I catch you. And that's what, yeah, it's too, everyone is
Yeah.
way too sensitive.
Literally. Okay, so I know because we're currently running out of time, I've got like three more questions for you. So,
Sure.
someone's asked, do you feel that the UK is bad vibes?
No. Everywhere's bad vibes. Why do people say that? Like everywhere has bad vibes. Like I've seen this a lot. Like, oh, the
Mm,
UK is bad vibes, and it's like, no,
yeah.
everyone, every place in the world is going to have their negative and their positive. And again, it's
Hmm.
what do people class as negative? What, because a couple of people said they didn't like something, or you don't agree with what someone said, now all of a sudden that person's bad vibes. Or the UK,
Mm,
everywhere is literally bad vibes. If you lived in America, if they would say, it's bad vibes.
yeah. No, it's true. Like you said, I feel like it does go down to sensitivity as well because, for example, when we was talking and I said like, how was the relationship afterwards with you and Poet? It was a thing where you both could have an argument or disagree, but you guys still know what it is.
Yeah,
Whereas with some, it could be a thing where it's like, no, like that's it. You said that, and now I don't want to talk to you.
yeah. You just have to understand as well, like everyone's going to have a difference of opinion, and not
Mm,
everyone is going to get along, or not everyone's going to agree with you all the time. But you have to be mature enough and old enough to say, do you know what, that's their opinion, that's my opinion, we still can get along, it's fine, it is what it
mhm.
is.
Yeah, literally. Okay. Okay, quickly, just zooming through with everyone. What keeps you motivated in what you do and how do you stay motivated?
I think because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy putting out content. I like seeing people's reaction. I like people's feedback, good or bad. I
Hmm.
like to see discussions that happen from it. Like even, I love even what everyone can say about the whole drill thing. It starts discussion, people talk, and I like that. I like when I go online and I see that there's a debate going on about something that I've said or an interview that I've done. So yeah, that's kind of that's kind of what motivates me, if I'm being honest with you. Just seeing people's interaction and people's reaction and people's engagement.
Hmm. Um, Another, what was your reaction and what happened to America last week?
We're talking about when they stormed the Capitol, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think anything surprises me anymore. It surprises me anymore. I think it was kind of like a bittersweet thing, because as black people, we've been saying like racism, and we get treated different from white people. White people can commit the same crime, and people be like, no, it's all in your head. Da, 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 da. But for people to actually see it right there, where we saw the difference in treatment, it was almost like, oh, okay, are you lot still going to try to deny that we're treated unfairly, or is this enough proof for you? Do you get what I mean? And we saw
That's
it
it.
live in 4K. Do you get what I mean? What happened?
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think I said this one time, like a lot of us, we all wanted to grow up in America. Like all of us, like, oh my God,
Definitely.
I can't,
Yeah.
when I get old, I'm going to move to
What
America.
is
I'm going to this, I'm
America?
going to that. It's so lit over there. And as you
Hmm.
get older, you just see like that country is wild. Like it's wild over there. Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
total different thing. It's different. You kind of almost think, the UK is not like it's not a saint of a place to live, but I think it's a lot better than living in America, if I'm being
Yeah.
totally honest.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like growing up, America showed their true colors, isn't it? Because when we was younger, we didn't see any of this.
When we was growing up, America was like the promised land. We was just like,
Yeah.
oh my, I need to live, I want to live in America, I have to, da, 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 da. And now it's just like, America's
Hmm.
fucked. It is
Literally. Oh
fucked.
my God. Um, okay. Shout out to my dad because he wanted me to tell you that he finds you as an interviewer very interesting,
Your dad
and
said
he
that.
likes. Yeah, my dad said that.
Oh
Yeah, because like
my
at
God,
first.
thanks.
At first, yeah, like I didn't even know he would know who you are, but he came to me and was like, "Oh, what your interview is Zeze? Yeah, I like one of her interviews, and I like how different she is. So can you please tell her for me?" So I was like, "Okay, cool."
Oh, thanks. I honestly, when like the older generation tell me, like, sometimes
Yeah.
the older like ladies or mature ladies will come up to me like near where I live. One time I was in a nail shop, and I think I'd done like Good Morning Britain or something, and this black lady, she was sitting next to me, and she's like, I just wanted to say, well done, you represented yourself so nicely. And I felt so proud. I was just like, oh, thank you. Because it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
like they approved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Okay, okay, so I know you do like you do like shout outs to brands in the beginning of your videos. My cousin has a children's book
Right.
and she wanted to know how she could get in contact with you for you to, you know, promote it in your videos.
So I might actually pin this to my highlights. You can just email info@zezemillz.com, and then somebody from my team will get back to you, and we can, like, it gets all sorted out quite promptly actually. So yeah,
Okay.
that's literally that's literally how we do it. I mean, I don't, there's not any businesses that, apart from like forex stuff, people that message stuff like that, and I won't do that because I always think those things are a bit dodgy. But I've done children books before, and you know, food. I haven't done food yet, but food as well, and all those type of things. Yeah, totally open to doing it 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I'll let her know. Thank you, because I know I was just like, yeah. Let me just quickly ask you before I forget.
Yeah,
Okay.
I might put it in my highlights because I think a lot of people might ask about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you, Susie. And since we've run out of time, my last massive question to you is, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Oh, that is the question, huh? Um, that's quite a good question. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? I would say, you know, a person that kind of was just herself. If that, I know that sounds corny, but everything I've done and how I've managed to, like, where I've got to so far, it was just like being myself and kind of being unapologetic and not caring what everyone thinks. And even if it goes against the grain, I still shared what my thoughts were. I still shared what my opinions were. And even with like backlash and whatever, I still was true to myself. And I think if anyone can kind of like build a brand on just kind of being themselves, and whether that is when people agree with you, because I think naturally as human beings we want people to like us, but then what happens when we want people to like us, we kind of then start either filtering ourselves, because everyone kind of needs to just get to the point, or needs to get to the level of maturity where, which I think we don't do, or even if I don't agree with you, I still can respect you. And I think we are getting to into this dangerous territory where if I don't agree with you, then it's almost like fuck you. But we should all be able to be mature enough and be adults to listen to everyone else's different opinions, as long as they're not being like disrespectful or anything like that. And being able like, okay, that's your opinion, okay, this is my opinion, we can like argue it out and whatever, but we still have respect for each other. So I think as long as I'm kind of like known, that sounds so weird, like as long as I'm known for, but as long as I'm known for being true to myself and always keeping it real, then I'm good with that.
Yeah. Oh, it's easy. That was so cute. That was so sweet. And sadly, that is the end of my time with you, Zizi. I just like to say thank you so, so much for
Thank
coming
you for
on and
having
speaking
me.
to me. I really like your vibe, by the way, and it just makes me want to like create content with you. But I know you're so busy, so hopefully soon.
No, if you like, do you know what? Maybe, do you know what? On my channel, maybe I will start doing that. It's actually quite a good idea. Maybe I will like do headscarf diaries with, you know, other people as well. Like I used to do that on my show, and then I don't know, people just didn't receive. I feel like there's a thing about headscarf diaries where people like it like more authentic when it doesn't seem overproduced, because I think that's how they came across it when it wasn't overproduced. But yeah, I think I definitely want to collaborate with more like content creators and stuff. So that's definitely something that, you know, I want to do. And I kind of, there's like loads of different things that I want to do now that this is like the thing that I'm doing. So
Yeah,
definitely we can
yeah.
do some stuff together. 110%.
Yeah, I'm really gassed about that. I'm really gassed. Well, thank you so much, Z.
Thank
I look
you.
forward to seeing more of what you do. Is there anything you want to say before you leave?
Not really, no. Just thank you for having me, and I'll have more interviews coming out this month. So
Mhm.
make sure you lock in. I have got some really cool people coming on in the next couple of weeks. So somebody just asked who's my next guest. Do you know what? I don't really like to say, not because I'm trying to be like secretive or anything. It's just because I feel like things can always change in this industry.
Mhm.
Like you can have somebody booked to come on your show and then they can't for other reasons that, you know, they've got to go somewhere else, and then your dates
Mhm.
don't ever align again. So I don't really say who's coming on, but I've got some, if everything goes to plan, then I've got some interesting people coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interested. I was gonna quickly just squeeze in a question because
Yeah,
Major
go
Thing
on.
asked me something, but I can't find what he said. So I guess that's that. But yeah, well, I'll ask you one now anyway, a different one since I can't find that one. But yeah. Okay. What's the first thing you want to do when we're off our ban from quarantine?
Oh my God, I'm gonna go out. Like, I mean, I'm going out. I told my friend this the other day. I said, I will be arriving to whatever function I'm going to drunk as a skunk. Like, I will arrive there and people have to carry me out.
Mhm.
So I can't wait to go out and just be like, hey, and have fun. Like,
Mhm.
being in this lockdown this time is definitely different, and I think it's because it's so cold outside. Like in summer, even though it was locked down, you know, you could go to the park, you go for a
Mhm.
walk, you could, you know, you might walk to the takeaway shop or whatever you've got to do. But now it's just like, it's so cold that you're literally just stuck in your house, and the only time I
Yeah.
really leave is when I
Exactly.
have to do some filming. Like today I did some filming, um
Mhm.
and taking Dave for a walk, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's
Oh,
boring. But that is the first thing that I will be doing, mate.
oh, I
And
can't wait.
living my best life.
No, definitely, definitely. Oh, well, like I always say, Zuzu, take pictures, live your best life, and put it up. Um, oh wait, I'm so sorry, I lied. One more question, Z, because I
Yeah,
know
go
you've
on.
got to go. One more question.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I know you love R&B music, yeah. You love your slow jams. So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you, if you could be any R&B artist, yeah, who would you be?
I would be Brandy.
Ooh, why
Because
Brandy?
Brandy's, her voice is unmatched. I was gonna say Jasmine Sullivan, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Brandy's got, Brandy's more like old school R&B for me, which I love. So I would be Brandy,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, okay. It's
Yeah.
funny you said Jasmine because I was expecting to say her because I was like, I'm gonna say
Jasmine
Jasmine.
Sullivan. I'm loving Jasmine
Yeah.
Sullivan at the moment, but Brandy is,
Mm-hmm.
she's on.
The
Oh
one.
yeah, someone said Mary J. Blige. Yeah, Mary J.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's sick.
Mary J.
She's
Blige
sick.
is good as well. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, no, Susie, I'm gonna let you go because I'm just gonna
Thank
end up
you.
asking you more questions. But thank you so much for coming on and really appreciate it.
Thank you for
And
having me.
yes, we'll definitely do something soon and speak soon.
Definitely, I'm gonna keep up the good work as well.
Well, thank
Keep
you.
going, keep pushing, and keep putting content out. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, definitely will. Thank you,
Thank
Susie.
you.
Have a good
Bye,
evening.
everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. So that was all from me and Zizi. Thank you guys for asking questions, sending all your love and support. I will be saving this onto my IGTV live if you wasn't able to watch it. And I will be putting it onto YouTube. But yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.